We're at a stage in evolution where many people are already awakened. We've gone through a process of evolution where, um, from like the Neanderthal caveman days, and we're gradually evolving. And as we evolve through each age, it appears that our consciousness shifts to its next frequency. We can call this a higher frequency. It's not a very good word, higher and lower, but let's say a more finer or purer frequency. And as we move through each age or stage of evolution, and the consciousness moves quite possibly through what's called the chakras or the vortices of energy, um, we've kind of finally reached this stage where our consciousness is ascending probably faster and more expansive than we've ever known, in the recorded history of what we've been told anyway. We know most cultures around the world had their spiritual communities, shamanic communities, what tried to share and offer this knowledge to their communities and to a broader field, if you like. This has all been governed by spiritual beings. Personally, I think none of us would have ever survived this period or any period of evolution without spiritual beings guiding us from those realms and dimensions of what we call light, and bringing their often incomprehensible consciousness and knowing and wisdom and teachings to our world. We've been blessed, I feel we've been very blessed by so many people over the centuries what's kept channeling this information and kept it going until we've reached this point where now it's exploded. So we have a spiritual awakening, we have a cosmic event taking place. So what do we do about it? What's our role? What's our position in this event? And like everything else, it looks like we're beginning to build a new structure. The old one's dissolving. And we as individuals possibly have to take responsibility. We've always relied on the external. We've relied on parents, family, friends, loved ones. We've relied on, work colleagues, bosses. We've relied on governments and institutions. It's all been external. What this cosmic event is telling us, or reflecting back to us, if you like, that we can tend and care and nurture and look after ourselves, spiritually speaking. And from that spiritual point of view, we can then expand that awareness to this world in which we exist in, or realm which we exist in, whichever way you look at it. So it's looking like people's foundations, spiritual foundations, not only for those new people what are just awakening, and I'm hoping when people see, for those what are already, let's say, awake or aware of spiritual beings and aware of change, I have a wish in my heart that those people have a tendency to put compassion at the fore of their minds for those who are awakening and for those who are not awakened yet. Because it's very easy for us to develop a negative mind towards people what don't think the same as us. So I think it's really important that we kind of go into that realm of the mind within us and look at ourselves through self-reflection and contemplation, and recognize that there's a key word which is lingering in all of us, and it's acceptance. The acceptance of ourselves, because we can only offer out what we've got to whatever degree we have within us. Same as love, understanding, all of it, everything what we offer out is all we have about ourselves within. Whereas I think this event now is saying, okay guys, look, it's time to wake up. Whether you're laid in bed and you've got one eye open, or you're out of bed and you're up and running, you've run down the stairs, you've had your breakfast and you're out there in action spiritually, it doesn't matter. I think the key is compassion, and that compassion must ripen within and then reflect outwardly to all living beings, if you like. And I think compassion is really needed at this minute. And acceptance, the acceptance of who we are in body, mind, spirit, soul, whichever one we wish to look at. So before I go any further, very briefly, when we're building a spiritual foundation, as with any foundation, we draw up the plans, we get the idea first, we've had the thought, and then we bring it into reality. And same as anything, we tend to lay the plans out, and then we go to work, physically active. And this is a really important aspect when we're building a spiritual foundation, the action side. Because very quickly we can say we have spiritualism and spirituality. And they're three different things, even though they're of the same one. Spirit is a breath, or the ether, or the energy of the whole, where what contains all knowledge. Spiritualism is like the post office. It's an information center where we go to pick our information up, take it home with us, we analyze it, dissect it, and dissolve it or absorb it, whichever one we do. But yes, and we've been good at that. People have been good at that. People who have been aware of spirit have been good at that. But there's a tendency to intellectualize it too much. I mean, we're terrible sometimes. In Minorca consciousness group, we end up, like Laurie said, we can talk, till the cows come out. But the topic, the subject is so vast and infinite. It's enthralling. But yet we still probably intellectualize it, even though we say we're sharing the information. Wonderful, but we're still intellectualizing, which is very positive. But the key is spiritualism. Spirituality. The key is spirituality. Now, spirituality is putting the knowledge and the thought and the breath of spirit into action. We can't go around saying we are spiritual beings off the top of our heads if we are not going to reflect it by our actions, by our speech. So I think it's really important when we're building a spiritual foundation to understand what we are building and what's going to be reflected out to all other beings and emanations of light.